As I review perfumes, I have had the opportunity to spend or rather waste a lot of money on perfumes. And while doing so, there are a couple of perfumes that I wish that I wouldn't have bought, or even if I did, I regret now, and I feel that there are better alternatives out there in terms of price to performance ratio or value for money per se. And in this video, I basically wanted to share a few with you, which I feel that I regret buying. And full disclosure, the perfumes are not bad, the perfumes are not awful. It's just my opinion about the perfumes. And if I had a time machine to go back in time and stop from buying these, I would have. But then again, if I did, I wouldn't be able to make this content, right? So if in case you're new to the channel, my name is Deep, you're watching Sense Saga, and welcome to another Sense Saga Listicles, where we talk about a few perfumes based on certain criteria. Today's criteria, perfumes that I regret, and what are the alternatives to that particular perfume, okay? So let me start off with the list by talking about this. This is Riffs Momento, a 4,000 rupees clone of a 8,000 rupees designer. Okay, and this is basically Arabian Tonka from Montal in a version of a clone. A lot of hype. This perfume got a lot of hype, although this is a bit airier version of the Arabian Tonka because that's a bit more thick and dense. But the regret over here is the price. Thank God I bought this partial, not a full bottle from Sentira. The full bottle costs around 4,000 rupees, and I wish I didn't even buy the partial because the partial costed me around 2,000 rupees. And for 2,200 rupees, you get a full bottle of Khadlaj Karus Secret Musk. And this perfume smells almost identical to Arabian Tonka. The blend quality over here is at par with this one. The longevity is also at par with this one. The only difference is this has got the note of rose, a little bit less nuanced than what is over here. And apart from that, everything else is almost the same. So I wish if I could just go back in time, I would have rather purchased this and I would have been happy rather than going for this. So in my opinion, get this one, Secret Musk over Momento, because I feel this is overhyped. If at all this was available for like 3,000 rupees, this would have still made it to my list that as a perfume you can buy this, but over here the pricing is pretty unjustified, okay? Now let me move on to my second perfume. This is French Avenue's Fierté, okay? A gorgeous bottle, and this actually smells like YSL Baby Cat. But there is one more perfume which offers better value for money and almost offers similar scent profile. Riffs from Paris Corner. This is available at I think 85 ml. And the perfume sells for around 1,500 rupees, and this one, my friend, costs around 4,500 rupees. Although the blend quality is a bit better over here, but then again, the blend quality on this one is not that bad. The longevity and projection of this perfume is not that bad, and almost at half, maybe less than half, you get this particular perfume. And my God, this is one of my favorite scent profile, by the way. And that is the reason I went for a bigger, by the way, this is also partial that I bought from Sentira. And the retail pricing of this perfume is around 4,500 for a full bottle. Why? And I also have a small tester of YSL Baby Cat, which I want to do a clone war in the future for the YSL Baby Cat clones out there. But as far as Baby Cat clones are concerned, my favorite is still Riffs. And if I can just go back in time, I would have settled for this and I would have been very, very happy. You don't need this, to be honest, unless you want this gorgeous bottle in your collection. That is it. The blend quality on this one is a bit better, but still around 1 hour to 1.5 hour of projection, around 7 to 8 hours of longevity that I get with this one. Why should I go with this? Okay. Let me come to the third perfume, which is Hamidi Addicted Black Intense Pure Parfum, blah, 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 blah. This is non-alcoholic perfume, okay? And the pricing of this perfume is around 2,500. This is trying to clone Creed Aventus. But if I really have to go for some value for money option, which almost gives similar amount of longevity, feels very, very, very close to the Creed Aventus DNA, I would rather go for Riffs Privé Noir. 1,700-1,800 rupees for a 100 ml bottle. Gorgeous bottle. Although this is alcoholic, this is non-alcoholic, but who cares, right? And the performance on this one is a bit better than Hamidi in my opinion. Although in terms of the closeness to the Creed Aventus DNA, I would say Hamidi is tad bit more closer. But then again, the difference would be around 5 to 6% or maybe 10% max. But If I have to get a clone of Creed Aventus in my collection, I would just be happy getting this and call it a day. And that particular perfume does not last more than like 3 to 4 hours, and then this is kind of gone, barely detectable. While this one will stay for 5 to 6 hours, linger on your clothes, but still you're paying less, so there is nothing to regret about. So that's my take on these two. If I can go back in time, I will not buy this. I'll get this instead. The next perfume that I want to talk about is Tudor, coming from the house of Pandora Scents. Where did the atomizer go? Yeah. This is basically a clone of YSL Tuxedo, and I bought this perfume from Z Aromas, and shout out to Z Aroma for helping me get this perfume at a much discounted rate from time to time, because I make reviews and Z Aroma is a website which is trying to support reviewers as such, like me. So time to time they give discounts on certain perfumes, and they ask me like, Deep bhai, which perfume you want to test next? I said I want to test this one. I just wish I would have went for something else, because Tuxedo is again one of those DNA that I love, and that is the reason I thought that Tudor can be something that I can really test out. Although in Reddit, a lot of people said like the perfume doesn't, like, barely stays on your clothes or skin, but I was still like, let me macerate it, test it out, and this perfume has been macerating for almost 3 months now. Still, the performance on this one is disappointing. 3 hours and then it's barely detectable. Projection is around 30 minutes. And the pricing is around 1200 to 1400 rupees, and it's basically you get what you pay for, okay? But or rather you get less than what you pay for. If I had the money, I would have went back and I would have bought Maison Alhambra's Tux, I would have bought Turathi Brown, I would have bought Suits from Fragrance World, but certainly not this one. This is highly disappointing when it comes to the performance. Although smell wise, this does smell like Tuxedo, but then there are better alternatives out there. Check Clone Ward that I did for Tuxedo, YSL Tuxedo. Although at that point in time, I didn't have this perfume, okay? So a disclaimer, even if I had it, this wouldn't have won, okay? Those are better. So do check that out. And the last perfume in my list is this. This is Qaid Al Fursan Untamed. And this is trying to clone Versace Eros Najim. I mean, perfume wise, this is great. There is some orangey note, there is some cinnamon, there is some chocolate note, and ambery notes. This is kind of a fresh, tangy, gourmandish perfume. The only caveat to this perfume, by the way, pricing of this perfume is around 18 to 1900 rupees for a full bottle. I got this partial from Santira again, and I am happy that I actually got a partial instead of a full bottle. Reason, the perfume has got a lot of alcoholic blast, okay? I thought that even after like settling it for maybe 2 months will give it a better blend quality. Not the case. Even when I spray it now for the first maybe 5 minutes, there is some amount of alcoholic blast that is noticeable. And coming from a brand like Latafa, charging like 1800-1900 rupees for this particular bottle, I felt that the blend quality will be better, which is not the case. And the disappointing part about this perfume is the projection and longevity. The perfume barely projects and kind of gets lost within the first 40 minutes. After that, it comes very close to your skin or clothes for that matter. And overall, the perfume would last around 4 to 5 hours max when applied on the clothes, and then it's very close. Very close. I can barely detect it after the 5-hour mark. My problem, maybe your batch does better, but in my case, that is what I'm getting. Although a magnetic cap, really good presentation, I had very high hopes from this particular perfume. Although I don't have any alternative to this, but if I can still go back in time and not get this bottle, I would have done that, okay? So that's Qaid Al Fursan Untamed, coming from the house of Latafa, which I regret purchasing. So that's kind of my list for today. If in case I get more, I will make part 4, part 5, part 3, whatever. I will continue this series as and when I have got perfumes to share with you. And in case you have any queries and concerns about any of the perfumes that I discussed, or you have any particular request for me to review, you have the comment section or the Instagram ID, which is Saga Online. Connect with me and I will try my best to answer your queries as soon as possible. And with that, this is Deep signing off. I'll see you on the next one very soon. Bye-bye.